Live from our studios in downtown Salisbury, this is the 47 ABC News Hour.
New tonight, severe storm sweeping across Delmarva right now. We have the latest on damage and the possible tornado that touched down in Salisbury. And we're opening up our coverage of this year's White Marlin Open. We'll have a live update after day one later on in sports. And with that, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Eldridge.
And I'm Daniel Johnson. The 47 ABC News Hour starts right now.
And speaking of right now, no reason to ask why we have our chief meteorologist Daniel Johnson right here on the desk to lead off this news hour. We have a lot to get to, a lot of activity to talk about, and it's only in our best interest and your best interest to have Daniel here to share his expertise, talk about what we're viewing and what we know. And Daniel, we have some video and some photos that have been sent in by our team on the ground, our viewers and more. And I'm going to jump into this first. I'm going to tell you that this starts with some drone footage from right here over Salisbury, and this is incredible video. You're going to notice, and you can see a lot of storm damage here, Daniel.
I mean, it's unbelievable. It was right around shortly after 1:30 today. We saw a storm that looked like a tornado. We have lots of pictures and images, of course, damage to homes here, and you can see that pushing through Salisbury, right around Salisbury University. Wing it, look at that, the parking lot, a car was flipped over onto other cars. Houses were damaged as well, and a lot of people are saying this was a tornado, and of course, we can't confirm that here until the National Weather Service confirms that, and they're actually sending a survey crew out tomorrow morning, and they will whether or not determine if it was.
Right, and Daniel and myself and others here at 47 ABC have been sharing images, photos, video on social media throughout the day. So if you get a chance, go to Twitter and Facebook, and you can see even more images from our team that's obviously out in the field, and then other viewers that are in this area as well. So just an incredible afternoon, and with that, we'll let Daniel dive into the forecast here a little bit and talk about what's next.
Of course, we're going to look back at one image from earlier today, actually a couple images on radar, something meteorologists look at to determine whether there's a tornado out there or not. So this is a radar image right around that time when a lot of damage occurred across Salisbury. So I'm going to pop up here on the green screen and show you what we saw, because this is something you don't want to see as a meteorologist on the green screen or on radar here. And there is a hook kind of showing up here on radar, and that hook is just south of Fruitland, and you can see that little hook popping up, and I'm going to let you know where it is. Right there. You can see it kind of hooking a little bit of a backwards J shape, and that usually is indicative of a tornadic type of storm. And this is what we look at as well. Wind velocity. This is something that's incredibly important to look at. When you see red and bright green touching each other, that means there is rotation in the atmosphere. Red is going away from the radar, green is going to the radar, so there is rotation there, and it did push northeast through Salisbury, and that system did some damage, obviously. Now I'm going to step off a little bit, and I'm just going to talk to my producer, Kylie. I'm going to go over a little bit on time. I apologize, but I'm going to go to radar here, because this is actually wind velocity, and I'm going to show you what that looked like on radar at right around 1:30. So zooming into Salisbury, there's the red and green touching each other. Then it pushed right through Salisbury University. Right there is where you see the green and red touching, and then it kind of started to die out a little bit. So that's where we saw some of that incredible images of possible damage from that tornado. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap up the forecast with what's happening coming up. This is a live look outside in Snow Hill. It is quiet as we speak. We made it into the 70s today, mid-70s, but we're going to drop down into the 60s tonight to near 70. We're still looking at storms and thunderstorms possible through tonight. So Ryan, I'll be back in a few minutes with more details on what's to come. Back to you.
All right, Daniel, thank you very much. As we mentioned, we have teams out covering the storm, gathering information and sending back some unbelievable images. One of those crews include my co-anchor Julian Sador, who is out in the field. He spent most of his afternoon today in Wicomico County, where widespread damage has been reported, and he joins us live now with what he's seen, learned, and heard. Julian.
Ryan, as far as what I'm hearing, people are in a state of disbelief. Many of them still trying to process what they saw earlier this afternoon. Now, I want to get out of the way and show you this. This is what's left of what was once a solid brick building. Eyewitnesses say they saw a tornado rip right through here. Now, again, that tornado is unconfirmed, but if you're taking a look at this parking lot around here, pieces of this building scattered across the parking lot. But let's go now to video of one of the many cars that were overturned earlier today.